I don't know. When I came across this article, I thought it'd be interesting. We can go over the first 10. Once again, I just happened to come across this and figured I would do a quick stream of me seeing how many of these things I'm guilty of. All right, play bearings at 9 p.m. Yeah, that's 101. Don't do that. That's stupid. Overuse of filters and effects. I used to do that as when I first started DJing back in like 2015, 2016. Now, yeah, you don't ever overuse it. They're tools to help with transitions or in and outs or layering or looping or whatever the case may be. Or to, if there's something that you're actually coming up with and mixing, use it for that. But it should be very, very minimal, and not all the time. And yeah, or maybe he actually thinks it sounds cool. Maybe it needs to be seen doing something. Yeah, that's how you know. Like, if you need to be seen doing something, then yeah, missing the point. That's a very beginner thing. Crash vocals with vocals. So I used to be guilty of that, but it would be by accident when my mixing was really, really bad, and I wouldn't know tracks, and I would try to do things on the spot, and yeah, that was hearing vocals, crash of vocals from two different tracks is such a buzzkill. It's ridiculous. Boast about having a huge music collection. I was talking about this earlier. So yeah, I'm gonna pick my top 50 to 100 tracks, make that a playlist, and I'm gonna mix that once or twice a month and like really truly learn all the tracks and see what I can come up with, especially with transitioning. That way, if I'm ever on the spot and like, hey, play, that'll always be my go-to. DJ with levels in the red. That is, yeah, don't do that. You don't want to hurt people's ears, aka Timmy Trumpet at Club Guilt this last November. Stick to a predetermined playlist. What nerves? You need to practice every single transition. Yeah, I always have a pre-plan. I didn't when I first started. Yeah, so this list is pretty dead on. When I first started, I definitely was guilty of like 50% of these things. Yeah, always have a predetermined idea what you're gonna do. Don't mix. I never was guilty of that. I just was terrible at trying to mix, and then once just took so much practicing and mixing, then listening back, and having other people listen to it. And be like, no, just a lot of learning, a big learning curve, but it finally clicked, and yeah, that's definitely if you're a DJing for a group or a club or whatever it is, and you're not mixing at all. What the fuck? Mix too much. Yeah, that can definitely be a thing. Play YouTube rips. I have been guilty of that. I won't lie. Won't lie. Especially if I'm in a rush or if I'm missing something and I just need to, have a version of a, yeah, DJ for free. Yeah, that's me. I would DJ for free. I don't care. But if I was doing some venue, of course not. It's kind of, I don't know. I guess some people need to hear that. All right. So these are 10 more. Not knowing the music. Back in the day, every DJ knew their music inside and out. You had to. There were no cue points, waveforms, sync buttons, and so on. Just lots of identical pieces of black vinyl. Your job is to learn each of those records inside and out, and you could comfortably DJ with them. Yeah, this is going to be a new thing that I'm going to do, and I'm going to start like streaming me mixing my top 50 to 100 tracks that I know very well, and I'm just going to keep doing it and perfect it and learn it. That way I can come up with new things, but also perfect that set overall, but continue to really, really know each of those tracks, however many up to 100, 100%. I'm going to start doing that. I'm going to make that a goal, say like once or twice a month. And yeah, I'll stream that. It'll be fun. Not mixing out of tracks that aren't working. Yeah, that's something I didn't do in the beginning. just because you're like worried about messing up, but it doesn't matter as long as you get out of it immediately and play an actual better track, or start heading in a better direction. The crowd or whoever's listening is going to thank you for it, and they're going to move on and forget what the issue was in the first place. Yet beginner DJs often make the bold decision to get something else on the decks immediately. It can be because they've rehearsed every transition, so that they break the rules and send them in uncharted territory, and they're simply not ready for. Yeah, that's one thing I will say that this last year, that I have gotten so much better at and actually mastered, is when I make mistakes, or if I have to do something out of the blue or on the spot, I am able to naturally. Um, and it's just really nice that I'm at that level now, because it makes everything so much better. And it used to like throw me off my rhythm, and I would just be, my head would leave the mix, and I would just be like in a shitty mood, disappointed in myself, and that doesn't happen anymore. So that's a huge thing. Not having a technical backup plan. What if your laptop crashes? Yeah, I actually did that this last year. I had a chance to play somewhere, didn't have my USB stick, and there was another time where one of my hard drives wasn't connecting to the person's setup and couldn't play, and I had no backup plan. So that's something I've learned, and I need to do 2 more USB backups. So far, there's one thing that I'm guilty of on this list: not interacting with the crowd. If you know me or watch me or listen to me, you know that is not an issue for me. DJ can be a bloody nerve-wracking, especially your first gigs. You need to concentrate hard on everything, choosing the next song, getting the mix, putting effort and time. You can wait, literally forget to smile or even to look up. Frankly, you may not feel and do it either. You're nervous. Nope, not me. It's but your job is to lead a party, and yeah, that is not my issue. Partying too hard. What? Partying too hard? Is a reaction. Nerves, drinking too much. Oh, but if you're partying too hard, yeah, I may always make sure not to drink too much or get too screwed up. New Year's Eve, this last December was a prime example. Oh, and thank God, because yeah, I've tried to mix when I messed up, and it's not pretty. Playing every request, yeah, that shit's fucking annoying. It really is. Never playing requests at the same time, yeah, especially for girls. Let's see if they actually say that. Festivals use some clubs don't ever play requests, that's fine, but if you play bars, lounges, parties, and especially mobile gigs, you absolutely need to listen to suggestions, because sometimes someone will suggest exactly the right song. You can trigger a new mood, lead some live direction of the dance floor. They can be grateful and build on it with your own choices. Frankly, sometimes on a hard gig can be godsends. Pro DJs better take requests seriously, and requests from people who are actually dancing, especially girls, yeah, should be taken the most seriously. Not having emergency 4 fillers prepped. Yep, I actually have a playlist. That was a tip my buddy gave me. Basically, bangers or go-to, or some tracks that everybody knows, or what's trending at the moment. Being too hard on yourself. I am definitely guilty of that. Most people don't notice your triumphs behind the decks, but most people don't notice your mistakes either. Whether or not you're having good gigs isn't really in your control. Yeah, this I should like print off and put on my wall. Just when you're thinking on a roll, you get dropped from your gig. At the end of the night, you tanked. Cue people. Not being nice. I'm one of the nicest people. Yeah, that's not an issue at all. So, pretty basic shit. Alright, so I'd say back when I started, yeah, I was definitely guilty of 60-70% of these things. Not anymore, but it's a pretty dead-on article by Digital DJ Tips. But what I will take away from this is I'm really going to do that. I'm going to do 50 tracks to 100 track playlist of all my favorite things, favorite songs, and I'm going to start doing that once or twice a month and perfect that and learn all those songs. So thank you, Digital DJ Tips. I have a new thing to do for content, and I've been wanting to do one more one-on-one of me discussing things, especially when it comes to anything that has to do with my content, especially with music and mixing and all that kind of stuff. I have a good buddy of mine. He he was telling me that one of my streams that I did, I was mixing, but I was like trying to do new things with mixing and learn some new things. So I was kind of like talking to the camera or to the stream of what I was doing and what I was trying to learn how to do. So, kind of see exactly what the hell it is that I'm doing or what DJs are doing. And he said that he really actually enjoyed watching that. So, going off of his advice and creating some of that similar content. If you're new at DJing and you saw that list, don't do those things. And if you don't know what those things are or don't know how not to do them, well, all Google it or YouTube it. You can find anything you need to know about DJing and how to DJ and how to get better at DJing from free content on YouTube or on Google. You don't have to pay. Um, so that's it. If money is an issue or finding a professional to teach you, don't worry about it. You can literally Google any of those tips that were in that list, and Google will tell you how to not do it and what you should do. All right, I am DropNinja. I will see you guys in a little bit. Thanks for watching as always.